the petty car, and basically I continue where I left off, and that's adding the little floor details, what I want to call it, on the car itself. Got the seat mounted, which I'm down to step 11. Now I'm down to 12, which is the oil tank and the oil tank mounts, and that side, which I'll probably try to get later today. But anyway, I had to break out the old Tester's tube glue, stuff that smells so wonderful. I remember fond memories of building models as a kid with nothing but tube glue, and that was probably funnest part about modeling, you know, taking a sniff of that, and modeling was just, I think, very, very fun with the tube glue method. But anyway, I had to use tube glue because I didn't strip the chrome parts, and which they really need to be stripped so you can actually use liquid glue, but tube glue works good on chrome parts, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to completely, you know, strip it down. But anyway, did get all that, and I'm basically ready to continue on with the other parts to it. Anyway, that's basically the last sub-assembly on the oil tank, and then we'll continue on from there. I'm basically going to get everything on here and then go back in and paint everything. It'll just be a whole lot easier, and that way, for me, it's I think it, you know, once you get everything assembled, then paint, I think it's much more nicer than actually trying to paint something, put it on, and then having a chance of screwing it up, the paint job, which I have done before, and I've done recently too. But anyway, that's where we stand on the big petty car. The doggy, I did get all its innards in. And it's basically, it's like there is no way that you could actually put this together and take it back apart, you know, to get the you know, the organs out. There is no way. You'd have to, only other way I could think if you could do it is some of these are two pieces, the organs. You'd have to do some magnets, and you might be able to put magnet on one lung and then on the other lung to get to the heart and everything. But you can pretty much see all the organs, and I'm just letting it dry so we can basically continue on. One thing I got to tell, and that's the little tongue here. If you can see, really, it should fit in between the jaw. It really doesn't, and I tried to bend it as much as I could. It actually needs to go up and around to go into the jaw, but it doesn't. I guess it's the way the kit is made, so I kind of had to compromise just a little bit, so I tacked it in closer to the jaw, and it's going to be up just a little bit. That's about the only minor little change I had to do, except for some of the bones I had to re-break to get it to fit, but it is in, and it is good and secured. So next I'm going to take, I'm going to do some washes. We're going to do some reds, do some tans for the bones, and do probably a little dry brushing, and then I will do final assembly this week of the bones, and get the legs on, and then start doing the clear parts. So really went together pretty quick after you got the get all the organs sub-assembled, and there you have it. Wish I could, it's one of those you really can't pick up. You can to a point. I think it even looked cool just without the invisible dog part, but anyway, that's pretty darn slick. Anyway, more on that later on this week. We'll do some washes next. The Hearse, I went back in, and I did get the door handle, the curtains. I had to modify this curtain just a little bit. I had to basically cut it down to get it to fit in the back window. I don't know why it wouldn't fit. I think you're supposed to put it on sandwich between the door, but I don't think it'd fit like that either. So I just went ahead and trimmed it down. We're looking for an illusion, and that's what we got. And what else did I do? Oh, I did get the rear tail lights in, and I don't know if you can actually see it. Oh, yeah, you can. Got those on. I got the bumper secured. I went in and got the curtain on both sides. And I went ahead and got the Myers photo etch from fedoratron.com, and I got them glued in with micro crystal clear and native wheel dry clear. You can see where it's still curing as we speak, so that'll be a day or two. I just got to go in and I got to take a little bit of a brush, just paint a little bit of the white there for where I missed the curtain first time. But anyway, it's on and it's secured, and probably next video you'll see it with the tape off. But I did go ahead and I went ahead and sprayed Future. If you can see the two-tone, I got the shiny black, which probably needs one more coat. I did one pretty good heavy coat. And then I want to wipe it off, and when I say wipe it off, make sure there ain't no dust, and then go a final coat. But I want to do that once I get the chassis on, because I want to put a wash on the wheels, and I want to do the wash on the bumper. Did get the lights in. I'm not. The only thing I really can't do is make like, and I really don't know how to do it. And it's you know, make it look like it's, I want to say, frosted white. You know, where they look like headlights. I usually just take white paint and do like a little bit of a wash in there, just to kind of simulate the bulb. That's about the only way to me it looks believable. But anyway, we'll jump that bridge when we get there. But anyway, we're getting ready to I'm gonna get ready to I may pull the tape off. I'll probably do, probably will go ahead and wipe it down, shoot another coat of Future, which I wanted to get on the chassis, but I can probably still do it. I'll probably just, I want to make sure that the Myers in there is seeable. It should be, and we'll be ready to go after that. But anyway, getting closer to getting the hearse done, and then we can start the ambulance. The Falcon prize, I'll probably do that in the shed update. I really didn't, only thing I really done is I did get all the parts on it, and it's ready to be painted. I did get the clear domes on the top and bottom, which is blue and red, and just ready for paint. I probably, whoever had this before, they painted these kind of a copper. I'll probably leave it. I like it real well, and I'll probably just put a wash on it, and so I got to mask that off, and then try to find that it's kind of it's a gray, but it's kind of like a Battlestar Galactica gray. That's the way I can explain it. But anyway, we'll jump that bridge on there. This is basically not a well, it is accurate for the movie, but it'll probably be a ragtag fleet ship at the hobby store. So more on that later on. I kind of screw with this when everything is needing to dry. But anyway, the Ertl A. I finished all the decals on the very top. I got to, and I just let them overlap when you get to the impulse deck here. And I just got to let the solution do its trick, and then go in and cut all the, you know, scrape that off, and then we're done. Got one of the little strong backs on, which I kind of tore it right there, and probably I'll tear the other one as well. Got the inside. You can tell where the decal wants to really, I sprayed them, but they needed to be sprayed about one more time. You can tell where they're not cracking, scraping off. Got the decals on the top here, on the top of the cell, and I'm just working my way, trying to get all the big decals. Once I get all the big decals on, and when I say big decals, the strong backs back here, and then the sides, and then I can start doing the little, I call it piddly ones, go around the bridge and impulse deck and all that good stuff. But we'll be using JT Graphics. I always recommend JT Graphics, and I also recommend getting new decals for basically a 30-year-old model, because, you know, 30-year-old decals, it's a 50-50 chance that they'll either work or they won't. But anyway, I was noticing on here though, I have that kit, I have that one, and the Undiscovered Country. I do not own that one or the Star Trek 3 one. I would like to have both those. I think those would be, I wouldn't even have to have the kit. I just like to have the box for the Ark itself. But anyway, that's that was something I didn't even, I either didn't know they didn't have it, or didn't realize it, or didn't care, because, you know, why buy that kit when you already got the same kit, you know, from the motion picture. You know, that was my thinking back then. But anyway, I'll have to keep my eyes open for the Wrath of Khan Star Trek 3 Enterprise. So that'd be a thing I will have to look for. But anyway, that's what I've got going on today. I should have a shed update, and it's daylight savings time, which I'll probably warn you all now. It'll probably start hitting me being tired probably about middle of the week, so that may I may have to not do any models for a couple days, because that's just recuperating from the daylight savings time. But anyway, that's what I've got going on today. We are continuing on with the decal duty of the Ertl A, little personal project on the Falcon prize there. Hearse getting basically almost all assembled, just down to the final touches. We are putting innards into the doggy, and doing a little sub-assembly work on the big petty car. So that's what I've got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.